just take a breath and organize yourself into this time and space and with each other and with all the millions of other meditators out there, so many around the world meditating on this full moon. And interestingly, tonight we have an exact time, full moon, because it's at 8:08, right? So we'll be right in the meditation right at that time. So it's powerful to meditate at the exact time, even more than other times. So I want to just get organize my screen for a minute. Hold on a second. So there's people here from Santa Fe, from Houston, from New York, from London, from Oklahoma, from West Hills, right, and West Virginia. There's Maui, right? So there's all this Santa Fe. There's all kinds of Portland, right? San Francisco, and of course Los Angeles, which is where we are. And we are all here coming together from wherever we are on the planet for the full moon. And so if you're meditating right now here, wherever you are on the planet, this is your full moon time. Melbourne, that's here, right? We have all these places, that are connecting. And you think of it like a matrix of lights that connect everywhere all around the planet. Las Vegas, right? Yay. Yes. And so all of these connectors, right, from wherever we are, however we're coming in together, and this network of light is created. And it's called in esoterics the chalice, right, where all these consciousnesses come together. And I remember when, back in the day, before there was Zoom, and we did group phone calls, right? Remember those, when you could call into a number and you could connect? And I started doing those when that was available. And I was so worried that this just wasn't going to work, that you wouldn't work by phone, no way, because it had to be live, right, in order to get that feeling. And the people that were here, and it was our new moon group that we were doing it in, were blown away at the power of a telephone call, right, to our ear, how much stronger it was than when we were in person. Now, of course, different things come and happen in person too, but power-wise, wattage-wise, if you think about it, everybody in one space, right? There's power in that space. But when you think about power interconnected across the globe, right, you're starting to pull in the world energy. And so when we did Facebook streaming and different things we've done, and then finally I ended up on Zoom. Wow, so powerful. And so even if you're, on your screen is on just your name, or whether you can see each other or not see each other, there are right now 58 people in this room. So you think about that, right, from all over the world, and people will be coming more in as we go along. And so that's an interconnectivity, right? We're at the dawning of the age of Aquarius, right? The age of Aquarius. That was back in the 60s. That was the song, because we are at the dawning. We're not in the age of Aquarius. We're at the dawning. We really are at the dawning of the age of Aquarius, where we're one life. We're connected, and there's interconnectedness, and all those things that we're talking about now, shadow and light, of is there enough food on the planet? Is there enough water on the planet? Are we taking care of our planet, etc.? Much of that is going to be changing in these next decades as the world adjusts to this age of Aquarius, which is a group life. We have to feed each other, right? We have to take care of each other. And so it's a beautiful time to think of, even though we're going through sort of the dregs, for decades dregs. This particular time, these last couple of years since 2020, which we were all watching. In fact, some of you that were watching my astrology program that I had on going with Carrie Gorwich, the reason we did it was because what was happening astrologically and also esoterically, right? Because it's all interconnected. And so we were talking about, ooh, man, what's going to happen? When I was a kid doing astrology, we were saying, what's going to happen in 2020? Because we could see it. Like, it wasn't going to be good, but we didn't know what it was. It was going to be radical change. And who would have ever guessed that it would be a virus, right? That shut down the world and all the things that came because of that. But it wasn't necessarily going to be bad as much as challenging, right? We were going to have to look at what's under the rocks. We were going to have to look at what we had made so far so that we could amend those things and correct those things and heal those things. And that's what's happening. And so we're right in an arc right now between 20 and 2025. We're at the midpoint right now in December of 2022. We're right in the middle of sort of the most challenging time. You know, and then after December, it starts to arc back, right? But it doesn't go up to December and then just drop and we're fine again. We arc up, we arc down, right? 2 years. So it's a time, you know, we're going through a lot of changes on the planet, as you know. So when these full moons happen, we have this opportunity again, right? To pulse together, to meet together, to look in the sky and say, oh, there's the moon, it's full. You know, I wonder if there's a meditation, and you can join in a meditation, or you can meditate it where you are. You can find a place to meditate, right? Wherever you are on the planet, because all you have to do is look up. And there's this clock in the sky that's timing it out. Full moon, new moon, full moon, new moon. And I'll just say into this place here, that winter solstice is coming up, as a lot of you are part of that in different ways. And I think of winter solstice, which is December 20th, as the new moon of the year, where summer solstice would be sort of the full moon of the year, if you think of it, energy-wise we're talking about. So as we come into the winter solstice, it's getting darker, the night is getting longer, the dark is getting more, as we get closer and closer and closer to it, right? So here we are, you know, getting ready for yet another pulse within the pulse, which the solstice is the true, literally true new year. That's when we should do New Year's, right? Which is why I do the solstice. So it's a time of setting an intention. But I talk about it as setting a soul intention, which is very different than, oh, I want to lose 5 pounds, or I want to, you know, exercise more often, or not those kinds of intentions, but soul-given intention, right? So that happens inside the meditation. So just so you know, that's happening on Tuesday, December 20th at 8 p.m. And I'll be sending out an email to everybody for that. So if you want to join in that, you can. And I'll be taking registrations soon on that one, like tomorrow probably I'll start putting it up. And then one more thing that will be happening on the Friday before, which is December 16th, Friday, December 16th, I'm going to do a solstice review. I often will do this because we've been working with this soul-given intention all year long. And so people that have been doing this with me often we want to talk about it. So here's what happened for me. This is how it unfolded. This is what I learned. This is what I'm understanding now. This is where it started. And now here it is. And it's really interesting to hear how things unfold for people. And it's just another way of kind of putting it down as we prepare to pick up the new intention for this soul year coming up in 2023. So that'll be Friday, December 16th will be the review, and on December 20th will be the actual solstice. So I hope you can come to that because it's very, very powerful, and especially you that are involved in these full moons. You know, you're connected to this stream already, and it's a way of strengthening muscles to learn how to listen to your soul's knowing in a conscious way. And it helps in a group because everything is just easier in a group than by yourself. And so you'll feel you'll slip into that space. It's really powerful. So I hope you can join us for that. So here we are on this full moon, which is in Gemini, right? So it's about right communication. So I'm going to show the chart just for a minute because I want to just show something about it so you can kind of get a sense of what's happening with this chart this year. So here it is. And so remember, whenever we're talking about the full moon, the sun here, sun with the circle with the dot in the center, opposes the moon exactly. 16 Gemini, 16 Sagittarius. It's exact to the degree, right? 16 and an end to the minute, actually. What's interesting for this full moon, it's Gemini and Sag. The moon is conjunct Mars. So it's super energized. Mars is retrograde, so it's going backwards. So when Mars goes backwards, it's a kind of a frustrated Mars. Mars likes to go forward. Well, all planets do, but Mars really likes to go forward, right? And so when it's going backwards, it's a frustrated kind of energy, and it's conjunct the moon, opposing the sun, squaring Neptune, all this stuff. There's the Uranus-Saturn square that we're always talking about for a year and a half now. It's still going. It's getting done. It's getting done, though. It's going to, by the end of the year, this is over. So it's going to change is what I'm trying to say about that. But what I want to just focus on about that is that with Mars and the moon, there creates a certain type of intensity to everything. And so the idea of what must be, like there's this growing inner urgency of like what must be. However, you probably can't do it right this second. But that doesn't mean that you won't be able to. But there's this feeling of a rising desire, a rising aspiration, a reaching up to something more. And so change is in the air, as it's been for so long. And it's kind of an unstoppable thing, even if it can't be manifest right away. It's going to manifest. So this time of intention and the solstice coming up, where we set that intention from the soul, but all these meditations are intentional in that way. There's an increasing energy that's building around all of this. And so, because when you're meditating, you're kind of minding your energy, or you know how to mind your energy, right? But people that don't know that, they are more of an explosive, reactive place to these energies. So as meditators, one of our jobs is to translate the energy through ourself, through our awareness, through our bodies, through our consciousness, and then sort of clear the energy as it lands on the field of the earth, so that it helps others in a way, right? So we're processing that energy, we're mitigating that energy. We're conditioning, that's the word I like to use the most, conditioning that energy, right, before it lands. Moon Mars, it's urgent, it's fast, it's hot, it gets mad, it stomps its foot, it rebels. And so we've got that energy in the air right now. And so knowing that, though, helps you even work with your own energy of Gemini, full moon, right communication. To speaking deliberately, to speak what you mean, to what I was saying. Some of you that came to the full moon for Meditation Mount, a lot of you are here, a few of you are here from that. So I was talking about this. It's really interesting with the Meditation Mount. It just precedes mine. It's at 6 o'clock, and then I do mine at 7:30. And they're really different because, well, for lots of reasons, they're different. But one of the major differences in the esoteric community, they're working with the solar energy, right? So it's so you're looking at the opposite sign. So we were talking about Sagittarius, right? And now here I'm talking about Gemini. Of course, they're interconnected because they're opposites. So it's really been such an interesting exercise for me to do one after the other like that, because it's really two different hats, but they're of course, they're interconnected. It's like the yin and yang of something. And so we're in Gemini. So by full moon, which means when the moon is full, it's 16 degrees 8, I think, or 1, 16 degrees 1. Anyways, just in, but it's considered 17 by Sabian symbol. And as it does that, where that hits in your chart, for instance, between like 15 and 19 degrees of Sagittarius, of Gemini, of Pisces, of Virgo, if you have planets there, you're going to feel this a lot, especially if you have a position at 17 degrees Gemini. You're going to feel it really a lot, because where's Mars? Right there, conjunct it. So anyway, so whatever you do with that or not, what I'm trying to say about that is the energies are a little hot. So there can be, dissent, and disagreement and those kinds of words. So between each other and out in the world, right? And there's so much right now out in the world, right? So by processing and conditioning that energy through us, you can be mindful about the way you use these energies, the way you intercommunicate, the way you have right relationship, right communication, and kind of using, right, the motor of this for acts of creation or acts of effort that you want to put energy to. You can use that Mars moon energy and push it into something, like if you're writing, or if you're wanting to start a new business, or you're wanting to do something out in the world. This actually can use that energy rather than just react to that energy. So we're always trying to do that, to find that responding versus reacting place. And so another point would be to say that in this time right now, it is important to remember that your point of power is in the now, right? And that's a famous saying. Louise Hay said it. It's been probably said for 100 years and maybe more. And there's probably been, in every tradition, other ways of saying that. But your point of power is in the now. So when we're present, it doesn't matter what the outer conditions are, if we're upside down or right side up. When you're present, you can decide how you want to respond, right? Or you can just react, right? But when we're present, our point of power is in the now. Even when it seems like there's no way that we could have power in this situation, we can by pulling back. So whenever there's sort of a challenge in our life, there's a tendency to go at it, right? Or away from it. We do one or the other. We try to beat it up and attack it, change it, bend it over, try to get it to do our will, Or we run away because we don't know what to do and we just curl up in a ball, right? Fight or flight, basically, right? So presence is just standing there. And so the image that I've been using lately is that we are lighthouses. And if you're a lighthouse, you don't jump in the ocean to save the ship, right? You stand. And we're standing as conscious soul. So that's what we're doing in our meditation, right? We stand as conscious soul. We recognize that we are a soul, right? In this body. And that we're using this body, this lifetime, this way. But that the soul is consciously known in us. The soul and I are one. Right? That's a really powerful mantra. The soul and I are one. It's saying, hello, soul. I'm aware of you. You're aware. I know you're aware of me, but I'm aware of you. And now it's reciprocal. Now there's a telephone call. You can call up, and it can call down because there's somebody there. There's somebody home. There's somebody's going to pick up, right? Old days phone. So when we meditate, we're practicing, right? We're practicing. Building that connection, and I call it a relationship with the soul, that we're knowing our soul. The soul is in meditation deep, and it's present, and when we get present, we are present with, and that creates a lot of power and a lot of energy, and your point of power then, in this now, gets very potent. So it's good to, in that space, send light to the world, send love to the world, send healing to the world, and all the other things that we send, you know. And so that's where we are. So I think that's a good place to go into the meditation now. So, and I pulled a card just before we started for us. I have this new deck I love. It's called Soul Trees. And they're just trees, all different trees, different ones. And they just have a word on it, but I really like it. So I want to pull this energy into this. Okay, so the first one is self-care. Right? So you got to take care of yourself right now. Don't forget that. Yeah, first you, right? First take care of you, then out, right? Make sure you're getting enough rest. Make sure you're, eating right. All those, thinking right, watching news right, whatever, being mindful in everything that you're doing. And the other one I thought was interesting. It says, wait patiently and trust. Wait patiently and trust. So those were the two I just pulled kind of randomly out, and I thought these are nice kind of pillars for us to rest onto, to use into the meditation too. So self-care and patience and trust, that's always good. So on that note, so if you've got a candle, you can light it. If you don't have a candle, don't worry about that, because it's really symbolic. So you can light one in your consciousness, or you can light a physical candle. And just let this be an intention. As you light a candle, it sets an intention with that light that's holding the energy of this meditation. And then when you're ready to, close your eyes and just find your center. Take a few breaths. Balancing your bodies, the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body. Om. And as we do that together, we all balance our physical bodies together. We all balance our emotional bodies together, our mental body. And you feel yourself come into this moment. Your point of power is in this now moment. My point of power is in this now moment. And at this very creative time in history, powerful, creative time, we bring that consciousness which knows the well-being of humanity, of our earth, the physical earth itself, of this rising, growing consciousness that is happening and that you're part of. And you feel your center in your heart for a moment. Grounded and rooted to the world, the Earth Mother, Gaia, the mother of the world. We say Mother Nature, right? It's a feminine. And then take your seat now as you send a line of light from your heart center up into the heart of the head center, to the cave, to the heart of the head center, which is a point that is not the brain. It is an independent point of light awareness that directly connects to the soul. And you take your seat here, like in a pilot's cockpit. And you hold your place. And if you had a pilot's cockpit, what would that look like? It doesn't have to be from now. It can be from 1,000 years from now. It can be an old, the top of a pyramid. Or one just right now, however do you imagine it. Mine is old. Often when I think of it, I see old. I see glyphs, I see carving, I see apparatus, different things, laboratory things. I see this working area when I think of my cave. And then there's a space within the heart of the cave, though, which is perfectly and purely silent. Take your space, take your place in this space. In the heart of mind. And I'm going to say some phrases, some words in a row that are like a countdown, but like a count in. I'm going to say them a couple times. Stars, sky, ocean, land, mountain, tree, all beings, place, body, self, soul. And when I say it again, I want you to go deeper and deeper and deeper in. Stars, sky, ocean, land, mountain, tree, all beings, place, body, self, soul. Sky, ocean, land, mountain, tree, all beings, place, body, self, soul. Om. Becoming aware of the soul and that relationship. Letting yourself receive a healing tonight. A recalibration, a rebalancing, a reboot. We're in the middle of a cycle. It's important to take care of yourself. This instrument, this body self, and feel the light in the center of the cave as illumination. Illumination that brightens from the inside out. Illuminate me. Say that inside your meditation. Illuminate me. And feel that soul light in direct and precise relationship with the persona through the heart of the cave center, in pure awareness now, Let yourself move into the silence of this meditation now. As we move into this exact time, full moon meditation, and let yourself know. Let yourself be illuminated. Let light increase within. Illumination. Allowing the crown chakra to open. Allowing light. Allowing illumination. Feeling the crown chakra open like a portal. Available to light. I am available to light. I am available to light. I am available to light. For I am light in form. I am light in form. And I am light informed. It's so profound. And you experience this increasing light, no matter what the outer circumstances are. You're building light, the lighthouse that shines far across the lands, across the sea, guiding light. Because you are light informed and light in form. We are light in form. And just keep letting that light be received all the way through your body, through your fingers, through your feet, through your bones, through your nervous system, through your blood, through your DNA. Aligned by light, calibrated by light, healed by light. Conditioned by light, informed by light, in our receptive field. And then after a while then, letting that light, that's like a halo around the head in its brightness, emanating from the center of the cave. Letting that light be spread throughout the self, all the way down to the soles of your feet, all the way out through your palms of your hands. Light in your ears, light in your eyes, light in your organs, light in your breath, light in your awareness. I am light and form. And sending that light now like a gift to our world. And all those light centers as you can see the world in your mind's eye. All these points of light everywhere, 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 everywhere. All bright beacons, consciousness of love, of peace. Right in the Ukraine, right in the White House, right at Target. Everywhere, 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 light. And just sending love and light as a gift, no strings attached, no agenda, no design, just pure love now, pure light, pure love. Om, Om, Om. Landing back into your body fully, feet on the ground, feet grounded, however your legs are, grounded. Back in the present moment fully. My point of power is in this present now. Now, now, now. And letting your whole self be illuminated. Your blood cells, your brain cells, every part of yourself illuminated. And then using your breath to organize this energy as yourself, letting it play and work and adjust whatever needs to be in these next hours and days. I am conditioned by light. I am conditioned by pure awareness. And I am pure awareness. And we are pure awareness when we're in this state. Good, and so when you're ready to, letting your breath get deeper and fuller until it starts to feel natural to transition out of this meditation. And when you're ready to, opening your eyes into this time and space. Nice. Good work, everybody. Thank you. Really appreciate, a group of meditators is strong and more powerful than you think. The power of love right now.